Hi there, my name is Karina Heath, and I'm with Kinship Real Estate. Uh, we're here to talk about the foreclosure process and the options that you may have along the way. If you'll stay tuned to the end of the video and send us a PM in Instant Messenger, we'll be glad to send you a PDF that compares short sales um, with foreclosures. Also, you will see a link in this video. Please click on it for a free consultation. So basically, we're going to talk about understanding foreclosures. What is the process? Steps 1 through 3. A timeline. We're going to talk about how you might feel during the process. Solutions to avoiding foreclosure, which would be, first of all, you might want to try and refinance. You might want to ask for a loan modification. You could ask for a short sale, or you just may end up having to go through the foreclosure. So let's talk about what is a foreclosure. A foreclosure is when the lender can take over the property, when the borrower, or that would be you, the homeowner, falls behind on payments. Now there's two ways that this could happen. One is you could be going through a hardship, like a job loss, or you may have reduced work hours or reduced pay rate at your job. You may have unexpected large bills like hospital bills, or you may end up with a divorce, or your spouse may die. Another one is called strategic default, which is where you as the borrower can afford to pay, but you just decide not to. So the procedure starts with pre-foreclosure, and that's when, after about 15 days, you're considered late on your first payment. So the lender will then send you several letters. And in those letters, the lender says things like, you better catch up on your payments, or we're going to sell your house at an auction. And at that point, they may set the date for the foreclosure. So the foreclosure process starts, and if the lender and the homeowner are not able to come to an agreement within the first 90 days, then the property gets auctioned the next month on the first Tuesday of the month. Now there are two different foreclosure processes. One is judicial, which includes tax sale, home equity loans, and even a deceased debtor or deceased homeowner. So with the tax sale, you have a right of redemption, and that is if you filed as a homestead exemption, and that is for 2 years. If you don't have a homestead exemption on the home that you're buying, then that means that you have only 6 months as a right of redemption. With non-judicial, it's under a deed of trust, and a deed of trust does not allow for a right of redemption. There are two parts to having a home. You have a deed of trust, which there's a trustee that's filed with the court and the county, and then you have the person who has loaned you the money. So when it goes through foreclosure, the mortgage company asks the trustee to auction off the home. And then the last one is post foreclosure. Once the house goes to auction, there is a low bid that the lowest bid the bank will accept. And with that situation, if the bids don't come up to that level, the bank takes the house back from the foreclosure and turns it into an REO, which is a real estate owned property. Then the bank will contact a real estate agent that has special training and will begin offering it through the multi-list service. So if you look on the screen now, you'll see that you can click on the link that says you can qualify for a free, no obligation home offer from Kinship Real Estate. Here's some information about how you might feel when you're going through foreclosure. You end up with only basically two options. Either you can sell it to a cash buyer like Kinship Real Estate, or you can let the house go back to the bank. Now, a little bit later, I'm going to talk about what some more options are. But for now, I want to talk about how you might be feeling. If you're having a hard time repairing your house, you're probably also having a hard time making payments on your house. And if you're a parent and you have children living in your house, you might think that your children really should have a nice big house with lots of amenities and things that you buy for them. But really, in actuality, children want time with their parents and their family. And they want their parents to be happy, and less stressed. So if you're having to move and find a small apartment, they will be happy in that apartment as long as they have time with you. When you first bought your home, you probably had dreams of keeping it, paying it off, having it be a legacy for your children, being able to have big parties, maybe people over for the holidays, that kind of thing. And as you approach foreclosure and you're not able to make the payments, those dreams fade. However, you're not alone, because there are many people who are in foreclosure and end up having their houses go to REOs where the bank has taken it over. And we have been to the foreclosure auctions, and we want to be able to be here for you. You can call us and ask us about steps you can take to either save your home or sell your home so you won't have to have the consequences of a foreclosure on your credit history. One of the important things is to be talking to people. Like, for example, talk to your family and talk to trusted friends. Talk to people who are out there who may also have issues, or you might know somebody who needs some help and they would appreciate a non-judgmental listen ear, so that they can share with you their issues, and maybe you can tell them about Kinship Real Estate and how we will be glad to help in walking you through the process and walking your friends through the process. You don't need to stay in a house that needs repairs. It's not fun if the house needs to be fixed up and you're trying to live in there. When you decide to go ahead and sell it to us or let the bank take it back as a foreclosure, you'll be able to live in an apartment where you have no worries about repairs. You just pick up the phone and call, and they come fix it. And then it's just no worries about taxes and being behind on taxes or anything like that. So I want to talk a little bit more about, wait, before I do that, let's see if you have any questions for about the process that I've talked about so far. Okay, so there are actually 4 steps in the process of foreclosure, and I mentioned that I was going to talk about them. So the first one is the hardship occurs, like the job loss, the divorce, that kind of thing. And you get calls from the lender. At 30 days delinquent, they report that to your credit bureaus. The second step is the calls from the lenders increase, and you get a notice of trustee sale, which means the bank's getting ready to ask the trustee to auction off your house. And then at the end of that, that's 2 months, you'll get a 60-day delinquent notice reported to the credit bureaus. Now the third step is the account moves from collections to loan mitigation, and that's when the lawyers get involved. And you get a notice of default. At 90 days, they send the notice of default letter. And then the fourth step is the property is sold at the courthouse. Now, since you are likely to live in Houston, we don't do it at the courthouse. We do it at the Bayou Events Center near 288 and the South Loop. The property then is either auctioned off and sold, or it is taken back as an REO. So I mentioned, do you have any questions about that particular thing? So I mentioned that there's some options that you have as you're approaching foreclosure, and one of them is you could ask to refinance. Now the chances of you applying for a loan with another company or asking to refinance from the company that you're now in default with, that they will approve it, is really small. But you could try. I mean, the worst they can say is no, and if you don't ask, you're going to say no. It's as if you didn't ask. So we have loan modifications, and with the loan modification, you're going to ask the lender to change certain aspects of the loan, but you need to act fast. If you're in a situation where you have a pending layoff, or you know that you're going to be getting a divorce, or your spouse is very sick and may be dying soon, that you know you don't have enough money to make the payments, that's when you should start with the loan modification request. The lender may agree to lower the payment amount and extend the number of years. They may change the interest rate. They may forgive some of that and just put it at the end so you won't have to catch up. I mean, forgive the back payments and then put that at the end of the loan. So once the loan goes to collections, though, it's too late. So if you're already 3 months behind and the lawyers are involved, then it's too late for you to ask for a loan modification. And this could take 6 to 9 months. So when you first applied, you may not have been behind, or you may have only been a month behind. At the end of the loan modification, you could be 6 to 9 months behind, and it might not be approved. So then you're going to be in foreclosure. You can file for bankruptcy. Bankruptcy, however, does not remove foreclosures. It still goes on your credit score as a bankruptcy, as a foreclosure, and the payments are then added. So for example, if you are behind on your payments, you have to start making payments regularly, and you have to make the payments that you agree to on the bankruptcy. And the bankruptcy agreement could go between 2 to 5 years, and if any in that time you miss a payment, the lender can come to the court and ask for the loan to be taken from the bankruptcy, and then they will file foreclosure. If that happens, then you end up with 2 dings on your credit. You can apply for a short sale, and here again, if you've got a little behind on your payments, then chances are the amount that you owe is more than the house is worth. And that's when a short sale comes in. You find a real estate agent who is knowledgeable about short sales, and you find a cash buyer like Kinship Real Estate who will make you an offer on the house. You can take that offer to the bank, and if it's accepted, then the sale will go through and you will not have a foreclosure on your record. Another thing you can ask for, if you're not too far into it and you just realize that you cannot make the payments and you can't get caught up, ask for a cash for keys plan. The lender may agree to this if you will leave the house in the condition that it's in right now, clean it out, leave the appliance in good working order, and they will give you up to they could give you up to 1% of the value of the home. This will give you money to move out, make deposits on your new place, and maybe even get some furniture. Now remember that the bank is in the business of loaning money, not owning houses. So once you hit the 90-day mark, they start hiring lawyers. And the lawyers' attorney's fees are added on to the money that you owe for the house. So if it sells in auction, or if it sells as an REO, real estate owned property, then the bank will be incurring attorney's fees. That gets added on to the amount that you owe. So, for example, if you owe $100,000 and the bank has hired an attorney to help with the foreclosure process and also to file all the papers in court and do all of those things, then it could be as much as $12,000 added on to the balance of your loan. And let's say they were able to get it at auction for $72,000, either that or through the real estate sale after it's been foreclosed on. So now there's a $40,000 deficit. They may be willing to forgive that $40,000. However, in that forgiving, they will issue you a 1099, and you will have to pay taxes on that $40,000 as if you earned the money. So the best plan of action is to act early and communicate often. Communicate with Kinship Real Estate. Call us. We will be happy to talk to you about your options. And if you know anybody else who may be going through foreclosure and you lent them a non-judgmental listening ear, give them our number. Have them call us. We'll be glad to help them too. Don't let being embarrassed about finances or job loss or being concerned about losing your home or trying to repair it. Don't wait. Talk to the lender quickly. The minute you know that you're not going to make the payment, you might be able to do a loan modification or a short sale. The longer you wait, the more chances you have of losing your home. So call us for a free consultation. We're on a mission to see the number of foreclosures in the Houston area go down. And we're willing to help you in talking to you and talking to you about your options. You can talk to a real estate agent. You need to find a real estate agent who's familiar with REOs and short sales. Look up information online, but do something so that you don't just fall behind and end up losing your house and having a ding on your credit that could be 250 or 300 points lower than what you already have. And this could affect for many things for as long as 7 years. You'll have to pay more on your car insurance. You have to pay more when you buy a car. You may only be able to qualify for a used car, and a used car requires payments and repairs. So we're here to help. Give us a call at 713-826-4632 and let us fulfill our mission in helping you.